This is for the instructional procedures discussion post. I will be covering the hot seats, the reader's theater, and the storyboard. The hot seat is a role playing game where students take on the persona of a character from within a story to be interviewed by his or her classmates. I believe that this fits real well with second grade standard that asks students to ask and answer questions such as who, what, where, when, why, and how to demonstrate the understanding of key details within a text. For the hot seat, a student will be in the front of the classroom acting or role playing as a character from a story or from a historical event or whatnot, and they will be asked by the rest of their classmates questions. So, essentially, having him or her act as that character, answering from their point of view. The big key takeaway for this, though, is the students asking the questions. So, because this is a ask and response, students are required to come up with questions, the who, what, where, why, how questions in order to build a better understanding of that lesson content via the interview process. So this instructional procedure also works really well with the second grade standard that asks students to acknowledge the differences in point of view of characteristics, including speaking in different voice for each character when reading in dialogue. So, because this is an ask and response type activity, Hot Seat also provides students the opportunity to answer questions as though they are the character themselves or they are that person themselves, which fits real well with this standard because it helps them sit and think about the point of view of the character in which they are acting. However, for this standard, I specifically chose Reader's Theater. Reader's Theater is a performance activity where students assume a role and read their scripts as characters using the voices to convey characterization, mood, theme, and plot. So, I think that Reader's Theater and Hot Seat work really well together in tandem for both of these standards, the asking questions standard and the point of view standard, because it asks the student who is in the hot seat or who is reading the script to take on the persona of that character and to put themselves in the shoes of that character so that they can answer questions or so that they can read using that student's or using that character's point of view in order to convey mood or emotions. So with Reader's Theater, the student is reading a script that essentially tells the story, but they are just one character of the story. So it's like a miniature play. That's why it's called Reader's Theater. They are pretending to be that character, which forces them or has them think about what that character is thinking, feeling, or experiencing in that moment or in previous moments in the story so that they can better convey the mood, the emotion, the theme, and the plot of that story or of that character, which helps them build an understanding or build the ability to put themselves in the shoes of characters or historical figures, which heightens their ability to understand things outside of themselves. So, with the last instructional procedure, I have chosen storyboarding. Storyboarding is a little bit different. So, storyboarding is a tool that allows students to visualize the story and its structure in new ways using illustrations and text. The standard that I chose for this one was the second grade standard. Describe the overall structure of a story, including describing how the beginning introduces the story. The middle provides major events and challenges, and the ending concludes the action. So with storyboarding, you can actually take that story, break it apart into the beginning, the middle, and the end, the conflict, the resolution, the character introductions, and how it all gets wrapped up with a pretty little bow. And this helps students understand how that story was put together. Being able to take a story apart and go, these pieces, these sections are the introduction, these sections are the conflict, these sections are the resolution, and so on, will help students make more concrete connections of how a story is put together. It really helps students make more meaningful connections about these types of concepts. So, other than that, those are the three instructional procedures I chose. And that's it for today. Bye.